I could spend all day talking about Russia. I am not going to spend all day. I will spend probably about 3 minutes talking about Russia. Russia is a law that was signed at the end of 2017. It goes into phases. Actually, the first phase hit on October 1st of 2019 with the regulations covering what are known as the nosologies medicines. And the full effect of the Russian regulations, according to current plan, goes into effect on January 1st of 2020. Serialization, cryptocoding, traceability does not give justice to exactly what companies face when you try to manage the track and trace regulations for Russia. This is a centralized reporting system that all of the stakeholders across the supply chain need to support, whether you're a manufacturer, whether you're a wholesale distributor, whether you are a hospital or a pharmacy. Essentially, if you even look at a medicine in Russia, you have to report to the government on the fact that you looked at the medicine. And you think I'm kidding. Let me look at the serialization regulations for those that don't know. So serialization looks pretty straightforward. Put a serial number in a 2D data matrix, you got a GTIN, no problems. Russia implemented cryptographic protections for each medicine. Essentially, you take that serial number and that GTIN and you put it into an encryption system. It gives you back what we call a crypto key and a crypto code. You have to apply that into that 2D data matrix, and then that information gets reported to the government system. So it's really required us to rethink how serialization is done in Russia, because it's really a multi-step process for companies working with the government. There are over 20 different types of macro scenarios or use cases that you have to think about when you are saying, what do I have to do for compliance with Russia? Here's just some of the larger sets of use cases. If you're a foreign manufacturer producing product and importing it, if you're a domestic manufacturer, all down to returns, withdrawal, destruction, etc. So that's first off, what does my business do, and do I fit into these various categories? Then you look upon a list of, and I'll throw it up in a moment, over 60 events and transactions and notifications that you may be liable for. We have some of our customers who have over 40 of these that they have to manage. And then you have to do the reporting digitally signed up to the Russian MDLP system, or the IS Makhrovka system, as some people will call it. And so it's XML messaging. It's fairly straightforward from that perspective, but there's a lot of protections that you have to put around that information. This is, according to the 1.32 technical guidelines, the set of reports and notifications that any one company may be liable for. Whether the event occurs when you have possession of the product, or if the event occurs at customs clearinghouses, or if the event occurs at a local 3PL. If you're still the responsible party, you may be liable for reporting information around that medicine and the events that go through it. When I was talking about those 20+ different use cases, this is one small snapshot of one of those 20+ choreographies, and they're variations on a theme. Every one of these boxes on the screen is a report that you'd have to send up to the MDLP system. And in certain cases, which I didn't even put much on here, there are notifications which come back down that you have to manage. So it's a challenge.